So today is Tuesday. We're gonna call it Terrible Tuesday. Wine Tuesday. I don't know. Might even be Weed Tuesday. Because let's just talk about what happened today. Okay. So, but I did it actually. I'm proud of myself. Okay. So I'm an anxious driver. Sometimes, like I'm actually a really good driver. I'm very cautious and I'm a really good driver. I pay attention and things like that. So, but new areas, things like that I've never driven before, lots of traffic, I do get quite anxious. It's just a thing. So, so I need to get my Ontario driver's license. And I think I spoke about this in one of the videos from yesterday. So everything is usually done at the Minster building here in Ontario. And we looked it up, all that stuff yesterday, like all last week. And so Brian dropped me off there downtown yesterday on his lunch. I was gonna do it and walk back. Because I needed car insurance, can't get car insurance till I get my license. Right? So I go in and they're like, oh, actually you do it at the drive test place over on Erskine Street, over by the mall, on the opposite end of town. So when I Google mapped it, it was like a 45 to an hour walk from where I was, which was just too much yesterday. I was prepared for that. So it's fine. So it's fine. So messaged Brian, whatever, and then he had sent me a message, told me, oh, why don't you just walk over to where I am, because he was only 10 minutes from actually where I was, get the car and go. But I didn't see that until I got home. So anyways, headspace wasn't good enough for it yesterday. Anyways. So he took his car to work today and left me mine, and we looked it up on Google Maps last night, and it's just down from the mall, which I have driven to the mall, or so I know that area a little bit, not really driven it, but I'm like, okay, I can get that. But you know, my nerves are shot, like, right? Because you're not quite sure, all that stuff. So anyways, that's fine. So I get up nice and early this morning, Google mapped it, and I don't really have data on my phone like a whole lot, but I used it to get there. Okay, so this is what happened though. Come to the end of our street, there's a bridge. And literally 99% of the time, this bridge is open. But like there's 1% of the time, it actually is closed because the bridge will tilt because there's a lovelock boat or like a power boat or something that will go through. So I get down there, the bridge is closed because the boat's going through. And it's actually still closed. And I'm like, are you shitting me? How do I, like, and there's not really anywhere else to go. So I messaged Brian. He's like, oh, just go down past our apartment, turn right and go. And I'm like, he'd taken me for a drive down that way before. So I'm like, oh, okay, I do know that. So corrected it, it's all good. So I'm like, starting off was not great because, you know, and then gets in the way. So it's fine. So I get down past the mall. I was supposed to, so I took a left a street earlier than what I was supposed to take because GPS Google is like, turn left on whatever street and so many meters, but Jen has no idea. But it just kept saying turn left, so I got in the left-hand lane, turn left, and then it was redirecting me. But anyways, it's fine. Did another right, another left, and it was all good. And I get in there, and it's packed, completely packed, with large families. And there's a teeny tiny little waiting room. I did get a chair, but it was very large families because it's actually the drive test center. So where people go and do their road tests and get their license. And I'm not trying to be negative or derogatory or racist with this at all. Because there's nothing wrong with this and I had no problem with this. I was the only white person. Except for me and the counter girl, and that's really okay. It was a lot of what I would say are East Indian families, like darker skin tone, and they were all speaking to each other in their language, which is also fine. So I'm just sitting there in a chair and they're like, but I think because they made things like a family affair. One of their kids was going to do their road test or get their license, so like the mom, the dad, the grandparents, the siblings all go. And which, you know, is not necessarily to bring all those people. So it made it very, very crowded. And so like half the family is on this side of the room, half is on this side of the room. I'm kind of in the middle, and they're all talking to each other very loudly in their language, which is, again, is fine. I have no issue with any of that. But I'm just like, okay. Right? So it was just kind of, to be honest, it was kind of intimidating a little bit. And I don't know why. It just, because I felt like the odd man out. But, you know, I understand that in most cases, those people probably feel that way. So I'm not complaining about that. Let me be honest about that. But it was just a lot of people in this very small space and clumped together. So then they finally called my number and I had to like fight through like a mass of people, of like families, to get to the counter. And it was very loud and it was hard to hear, but it's all right. So I get up there and I give her my license and she's like, all right, do you have your birth certificate or your passport? No, because nowhere on the fucking website did it say I needed those things. It just said I needed identification. I took my health card actually. Well, I was and my Nova Scotia driver's license. So she's like, well, you need a passport or a birth certificate. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, my birth certificate's not here in Ontario. I think it's in a box in my parents' basement. It's in like a tote box of stuffed papers that I didn't think I needed. I did, however, have a passport, but it's back at the apartment. So I'm like, are you kidding me? She's like, yeah, we can't proceed. Oh, okay. It's fine. So, I just waited, get to the lineup. Yeah, I have to stress myself out and drive all the way back to the apartment. To be honest, it's only a 10-minute drive, but it's just a heavy traffic area. Okay, so I'm like messaging Brian and I'm like, meltdown central, okay. No, I didn't actually have a meltdown. I'm gonna say that. My head is like fuzzy, but I didn't have a meltdown. So I get in the car, head back to the apartment, and again, Jen took a left too early because couldn't see the street signs. So I end up going through all this residential area and it took me out on a side street on the actual opposite end of town, like the downtown area where like Brian works in the library and all that stuff. And it took me home. So like if we're here, this little square, when I left, I came out and turned left. When I came home, I came up the right-hand side by like where the food land and stuff is. So, and I'm like, okay, so I did a complete loop. But anyways, it was good because I kind of got to see a little bit of the area and drive it and realize, okay, so that's that street and that will actually that will loop me around. So anyways, I'm coming up like the main street that I would turn then right onto our street. And it's all blocked off with fire trucks and ambulances and there's a fucking detour. Turn left. And I'm like, okay, never turned left before. So I just followed the rest of the cars and whatever, came home. So I got my passport and I drove back. And I drove back and didn't use the GPS and didn't take the early left and got it on the first spot, made it in 10 minutes. I went in, there was still most of those families there and it was still just as busy. And everybody's really nice though, actually. Everybody's really nice. Called my number pretty much right away. I don't even think I was there like half an hour. I did it. So now I have my temporary Ontario driver's license. This is it. They'll send me the picture copy in the mail. And then I drove home and I didn't use the GPS and it took me 10 minutes. So definitely feeling more confident. A little stressed this morning, but yeah. Okay, so I made it. So the bridge is actually still closed and I had to like detour. Like, really? Okay, so, but yeah, I did it. I'm really proud of myself actually because I didn't have as bad anxiety as I thought I would. It's a little bit frustrating when I hit the detours because I'm like, okay, what do I do? And, but it was good. I'm sorry, I was looking at the time of the video. It's 8 minutes. Brian's like, oh, you talk too much. I do talk too much. You want me to speed it up? Okay, so I'm using my gimbal today. So I'm like, holy Jesus. And I'm like, I passed a beer store and I was very tempted to go in and get a bottle of wine, but I'm not going to. Brian secretly thinks I'm an alcoholic, so try to dry my liver up here. And, okay. Yeah, so it's done. I have my Nova Scotia driver's license and I'm really excited. Brian should be home any minute now for his lunch and our HelloFresh box is coming today. I'm really excited, so I'll do a video with that. Brian's never had HelloFresh. I've had it several times and I absolutely love it, so I'll do a little video about that because it's great. I really think it's a good program. So, I'm gonna stop talking and now I have to call and find car insurance. Okay, so I'm gonna do that this afternoon and wait for Mr. Man to come home for lunch and yeah, okay. Okay, but I did it! I actually drove like from one area of Peterborough to the other with like 4 detours by myself in heavy traffic. Like, gold star Jen. I'm not even kidding. Like, if anybody that knows me in real life, I'm like, that's not normally what I do. But yay, I did it. Okay, yes.